Okay, okay. Can you guys hear me? 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 Testing, testing. I am live. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Technical difficulties. So how am I sitting? Am I in the middle? Technical. Could you guys see me? And could you guys hear me? I don't. I don't know what a 1 or 2 means. That's only James does that. Could you guys just give me a thumbs up if you guys hear me and see me? Oh, you guys are seeing an ad. Can you guys hear me and see me? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I need one more thumbs up. One more thumbs up. Perfect, perfect. Amazing. We're here. Technical difficulties. It's my fault. Joel's fault. Nobody else in the background. It's me. It was me. I was here, but I forgot to hit a button. And it sounded like the same old Joel, right? So this is expected. He black. But we're going to go live now. We're about to start the intro. Amazing. Glad that we could work it out, and we're about to start the show. Here we go. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. I'm late. God, I really don't like being late. And I know it's like a stereotype for black people to be late, but in my heart, I honestly do not like being late. Like, it really bugs me to be late. I feel like I'm an inconvenience to other people. I feel like I don't start the show off proper, or wherever I go, wherever I'm doing, if I'm late, I feel like it's just not right. And I don't like being late. So forgive me. I'm sorry. We had some technical difficulties, and but we worked it out. But now we're here, and we're going to make it work. Amazing. So welcome to the show. First, let's get right into it. A couple topics we're going to cover. Last week, we talked about natural beauty versus plastic surgery, and why, women do plastic surgery, and like the reason for natural beauty, and how certain women have it, and all women have it, but they don't know that they have it, and a lot of different things when it comes to that. Also, we talked about the problem with dating, right? And this was last week's episode, by the way. And we talked about how the worst thing that a person can do when they're dating somebody is try to impress them, right? Because you try to put your best foot forward, you have an agenda, you want something from them, and then you tend to not be very genuine. So we talked about that, and we talked about how to possibly correct it and change the way we approach dating. So go check out last week's episode 17. We talked about all that good stuff. It was great. You don't want to miss it. Also, today's topic or topics we're going to get into is the most dangerous person is one who avoids the mirror. The most dangerous person is one who avoids the mirror. And also, I want to talk about another little thing I have it here. And these ones are just kind of fun to say. But the most dangerous person is one who avoids the mirror. Also, protecting ourselves from ourselves is the rejection of reflection. I just like how that sounds. And freedom is the absence of thought and the presence of faith. So we're going to get into a little bit of that kind of stuff. You can call in if you want to. I'm going to give you the number right now, but you know what you got to do first. Hit that like button. Smack it. Later, smack that on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. Make sure you do that. Do it ASAP. Do it all day. Do it every day. Spread the word. Spread the message, right? Also, you can call in 888-775-3773. It is a talk show, so we can talk, we can fellowship, we can argue, we can do whatever you want, all in the name of Jesus. I accept it all. Let's fellowship. Let's get into it. Also, a new announcement. If you don't want to call in, but you have something you want to say, or you have a question or a comment, but you don't want to call in, or the lines are full and you can't get in, or you're at work, all kinds of different things, scenarios. I am now accepting super chats. So you can send me a super chat with your comment or question, or you can just support the show, but there is that option with super chats. If you look in the chat, I think it's at the bottom left-hand corner next to like the little smiley emoji and the plus button. Right there in the middle is where you can send a super chat, So we do have that option available now. So it's up to y'all. Amazing. So since we wasted not wasted, but since we started a little bit late, I want to kind of jump right into it. First thing I want to say to the chat real quick. Is I love how everybody's expressing themselves, and I want everybody to be free. I don't want have to censor anybody. I don't want to have to kick anybody out and block people. I want people to be able to speak exactly how they want to. But I think we should still be decent and have common sense about it, right? And I don't have moderators yet, which I know I'm going to need some soon. But I think that I just want to throw this out, is that watch yourself when you comment certain things to other people. Because what I realize and what I hear from other people, they tell me all the time when they're in the chat, like my friends or people I know who are in the chat, there's a lot of people get a lot of keyboard courage, right? And they'll just say whatever the heck they want and not be respectful. You know what I mean? I don't mind people being honest, and I don't mind people even being disrespectful. But we can do better at being respectful. Especially there's other people in the chat that may just have an honest opinion. And then when you go in there and tackle them and try to beat them up for their opinion, it makes them not want to get in the chat. You know what I mean? So let people have their own opinion, but also just keep it light and fun. You know what I mean? The chat is not where you start wars. It should be fun and light. You can disagree, you can do all that stuff, but we don't gotta ask for each other's address because we about to pull up to the house. You know what I mean? It don't have to be that deep. So I just want to say that have fun in the chat, do whatever you want, be yourself, but just be aware. Be wise, be smart, and have some common sense with it. Okay? Mina said, did someone hurt Joel's feelings? No, I don't even read most of the chat, to be honest. I don't even have time to read it because I'm so focused on the message. So it's not me. But you also push other people away from watching the show. And the people who are very sensitive, just don't also, if it's bothering you that much, some words on the screen, and your feelings are getting hurt from words on the screen, then you just want to also check yourself and be like, man, I'm being too sensitive, right? So I'm not going to completely just call out the people who are writing the disrespectful things. But if you're being overly sensitive and it's hurting your feelings to a point to where you have to avoid it, then you have to, figure out a way to get over your feelings and emotions, because it shouldn't be that deep anyway. It's words on the computer. You know what I mean? It ain't that deep. So don't let that affect you too much either, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's get into it, because, time be going and not looking back. So much love to everybody in the chat, regardless of what you do. You know what I mean? And thanks for the super chats so far. I'm going to get to some of the super chats. I don't know how to read them because I just started this super chat thing, but already thank y'all for the super chats. That's amazing. That really is. I'm going to get to them though, because I respect and I appreciate the support. Amazing. So the most dangerous person in the world are the ones who avoid getting to know themselves. And it's so funny because this can also, like, it's sometimes we won't look at ourselves and be like, oh, that's me. Because we may mean well, we may be trying to do the right thing, we may be like not trying to be in anybody's business, we're minding our own business, but that dangerous person could still be you, right? Because it's very key and very important. And I've realized in my own life how important it is to know yourself, right? Because when you don't, people control you. Life controls you. Everything controls you. Nothing is disciplined. Nothing's on solid ground. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know. And I understand completely, 100. I totally understand that looking in the mirror isn't always easy, right? Being honest with self isn't always easy. Why? Because people are, all people, but some more than others, are afraid to look at themselves, or afraid of what they're going to find, right? What are they going to see? If they really look within and look and be aware of themselves, they're afraid of what they're going to find, right? That's always the story I hear. And that's what I've seen in myself at times. And I understand it. And it's not so much what I realized, because Jesse Lee Peterson had a church service on Sunday, and he talked about something very similar. We're going to get into that too. But it's not so much about what we're going to find that we're afraid of. It's more so of the pain we're going to feel based off of what we find, which is based off of our judgment about what we find. So it's not what we find that we do A, B, C, or D, right? It's the judgment that we have about what we find. Oh, that's so bad. That's embarrassing. That's shameful. I'm not that. I don't want to be that. That's it. You know what I mean? It's that is why we can't look within. It's because we have this major judgment, and we don't realize that that's the judgment we send off to the entire world. The whole world feels exactly that, because we're constantly judging everything. Just judging, right? And we don't realize until we look within ourselves that we're judging ourselves too. And that keeps you from actually knowing yourself. So we're going to get into that. But Jesse Lee Peterson had a church service on Sunday, and his main topic was, what is your greatest fear? And it was very deep church service. And it made me realize some things. And what he talked about, really, I'm gonna get to some of the points, and I'm gonna circle back on how it ties into the show today. But he talked about how we set out to our greatest fear, all human beings' greatest fear, and maybe not all, right? But most human beings' greatest fear is being exposed, right? Because we're so set out to protecting our feelings, right? We're so set out to protecting our feelings. We're so set out to protect our image, our reputation. And he talks about this. And we hold so tight, and I'm speaking from experience as well, we hold so tight onto it. We don't want to let it go, because if somebody sees that mess, to us, we feel like If anybody sees that, I don't know it's so embarrassing. That's so shameful, right? But oftentimes when that mess still comes out anyway. You ever realize that? Regardless of if you try to hold on to it, not show it, because it's in there, it seeps out in different situations regardless, period. It always comes out anyway, right? And when it comes out, let's say people judge it. They may judge it or whatever the case is. That's fine. But we also, and we feel the pain of that, but we also don't realize that passes, people forget about it, and they got their own stuff to worry about. They ain't thinking twice about whatever you exposed, right? But to us, we're like, wow, I was judged. I'm not gonna reveal myself anymore. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna push this down. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna let it shown. I'm gonna wear this mask because I don't want to be embarrassed like that again, right? So we hide it. And we avoid all the opportunities to shine the light on it so we can overcome it. We avoid all those things. Why? Because when those opportunities come, speaking from experience, when those opportunities come, we feel that pain and we're like, heck no, I'm gone. I'm not dealing with this. This uncomfortable. I feel naked. I feel exposed, vulnerable. I feel crazy, right? And nobody wants to feel like that. Part of it because the world is judgmental. You can't change that. Whether it's good or bad, you can't change it. But we're doing a disservice to ourselves when we allow those feelings to keep us locked into, I'm getting a call. Ignore. I'm on a show. But when we keep those feelings, sorry guys, when we keep those feelings inside and we identify with those feelings and we protect them, that's the worst thing we can do is protect those feelings. Because those feelings are what's controlling us. Those feelings are what's making us feel depressed, anxious, suicidal thoughts, fear, doubt, all that stuff, right? It's those feelings because the thoughts are connecting to those feelings, making those feelings and those thoughts that aren't even true. They haven't even happened yet, right? But those feelings attach to the thoughts and they make it so real. And you feel it so deep. Like, man, I'm about to get on this stage, trip and fall, and break my nose and be the laughingstock of all history. And they're going to write it in the history books. And they're going to put it on cable news. That's what we feel like, right? And so we don't want to go on stage, speaking from experience. It's such a big mistake. And you know what happens? You know what happens is how we avoid it is we create all these things around it. So because we don't face those things, we stay locked in this cage, right? I'm gonna give an example. We stay locked in a cage, right? And in this cage, though we're locked in, though we cannot get out, we're still okay with it. Why? Because it's safe, right? But it's safe, but we're controlled by our thoughts and emotions. But we learn how to deal with it. Tell me if I'm making sense, y'all. Tell me if I'm making sense. But we're locked in a cage and we're controlled by our thoughts and emotions, but we learn how to live around that control, right? So most people, instead of looking within and trying to figure out what's going on, most people will make a home in that darkness, in that cage, and then we find ways to make the cage comfortable. So we decorate it a little bit with sex over here in the cage. We do a little bit of work. We work all day, stay busy. We do a little bit of excuses over here. We decorate the cage, right, with these things. Blame and all these decorations in the cage. Work, lies, blame, sex, blah, 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 right? All these decorations in the cage keep us comfortable, feeling good, feeling nice, but not free. Some people will not go free because they don't want to. But the crazy thing is we can go free because what's holding us back are lies that don't even exist. But the reason why we can't find out they don't exist is because we won't face them. And that's what Jesse Lee Peterson talks about in the church service, is that the best way to get over these things is face it. And we wonder why life isn't as great as we know it should be. We do. We wonder, why is life not this great? We're comfortable, we're in this cage, and we found these things to help us get through the day. But then we wonder at the end of the day, and don't lie, you wonder at the end of the day, why is life not as great as I know it should be? Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Call in and tell me if I'm wrong. Let's talk about it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Because we know at the end of the day that why is life not great as I know it should be? And it's because we won't step up to the plate. And oftentimes we just didn't even know that that was the case. We didn't know that it was bad to not face it because we get so caught up in our comfort, right? But you have to face it. Ooh, and I know, I already feel the pain, right? In certain things in my life that I may need to face, right? And I know, and we may not be able to just get up and just face it right away. But are we seeking to overcome? Are we really trying to overcome? Are we really trying to live a great life, a peaceful life, a life full of the things that we know are true? Joy, peace, love, but the real joy, the real peace, the real love, paradise. No conflict. No hate, no anger. You know what I mean? Like, are we seeking those things, or do we not care enough? And some people just don't care for it. And that's okay too. Like, no shade, no shade. Like, that's okay too. That is okay. Right? But for those who want to overcome, we have to learn to face that fear, because that fear doesn't even exist. It's not even real. Because we're only, it's not other people whose judgment and opinions we're afraid of, right? It may be partly, but it's our judgment of ourselves that keeps us inside. Our judgment of ourselves. We do not want to step out. We do not want to open up. And I'm not saying just be open up and just express everything and just be transparent, because there's an indecency from telling all your business, right? I'm not saying telling all your business. I'm not saying that. Be smart about how you move still. But when the right opportunity comes, we don't have to grip onto that ego to protect ourselves, because it's really, people's opinions don't matter because they're not thinking about you tomorrow. They'll make fun of you today and forget about you tomorrow because they got their own demons that they're trying to overcome. They ain't thinking about you. They're too busy thinking about themselves. That's human nature. They ain't worried about you. But it's you that's worried about you, right? And it's really thoughts that aren't real and making up fake scenarios and fake opinions about what will happen if you fall on stage. And nine times out of 10, that doesn't even happen, right? But if you fall on stage, if you sneeze and a booger comes out, and if you stumble your words or whatever, right? We're worried about that. And we're worried about the embarrassment of it. But that's just your judgment that you give off to the whole world, that you're giving to yourself. Wow, what a dummy. What a stupido. What a messy person. Instead of, wow, that man has courage. Wow, he just finished the message even though he fell on stage. Wow, he stumbled his words. But he came back for the next meeting, or came back for the next performance, or came back for whatever, and succeeded. But he came back. He got up and did it again. That's courage. But that's also getting in the ring with the fear, getting in the ring with the pain, facing it, right? Getting back up. And we're not always going to be successful. Trust me. Like, I'm feeling the pain telling y'all, doing this right now. Talking about facing the fear. I feel the pain right now. Ooh, right? But it's like, it's not like we're going to just get up and succeed at it, but just knowing for me that I'm protecting and I'm not allowing myself to just learn and grow in the process, and being regular, and allowing myself to do the wrong thing, make the mistake, do all this, just allow myself, is freeing to me. It's more freeing to me because I don't want any chains, any restrictions, anything. And God doesn't want that for us. And Christianity and religion is not meant to put chains and rules on you. It's meant to break free from it. So with that being said, I want to say this, is that no more right and wrong. This is my opinion. You don't got to follow this. You don't got to do it. You don't have to. No more right and wrong. No more having an opinion about what is right and wrong. No more worried about if this is the right move, wrong move, on track, off track, left or right. No more worried about that. Don't even think about that. Let the spirit, let your gut, let your gut make the decision for you in the moment. Start trusting your gut, right? Start listening to the gut, right? Deep down, and start trying to recognize it, right? Maybe everybody doesn't recognize it right away. Maybe they're still confused or whatever. But if you're confused and unsure, make a decision. Don't hesitate, make a decision. And if you don't want to make a decision, don't make the decision. But don't have conflict about it. Be free, because if you do the wrong thing, quote unquote, it's not wrong. You just realize, okay, I'll do this one instead because that one didn't work. No more judgment, no more right and wrong. Just let the moment dictate what it should be. Because if you don't have preconceived information about what might happen or an idea about the future, then you learn to trust the source within your gut. And the most important thing we could ever do in life is follow the voice, the inner voice, the gut, the intuition, the source. Is follow that, not the pastor's word, not your brother's word, not your mom's word, not your dad's word, not my word, not your dog's word. Nothing. Don't follow nobody's word, because everybody's human. Everybody can be wrong. Everybody make mistakes. Follow this, the source within that leads you in all things. Once you recognize this, I'm not even telling you a lie. Once you recognize this, you stand firm Confidence, real, genuine confidence. And nobody can move you. Nobody can, you don't waver, you don't crumble, because you learn to grow in recognizing this voice. And even if you're wrong, you still stand firm, because you're like, oh, I just made a mistake, but I'm still going to trust my gut. That's where real confidence comes from. Learning that the source is your answer. Not anybody's opinions. Not what the rest of the world is telling you to do. Not what the rest of the world is doing. Not what your best friend told you to do, your boyfriend. But the source within, even when you're married. If you recognize the source within, that's what allows you to truly agree or disagree with somebody. You're like, because you look within for the answer, and the answer don't come right away, but you wait for that answer. You don't try to seek an answer because you need a satisfaction right now. You want something quick. You look within and you wait for the answer to arrive. And when it arrives, boom, you can stand on it. Confidence, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There's not a lot of people who have it. And so it's hard to see like examples of it. But there's certain people who have it. And you know it when you see it, because you know it's not phony. You know it's not disingenuous. And you know that it's real. So we need to get to that, y'all. We need to get to that. That's where it's at. I hope that made sense. I'm going to take some calls, but let me get to a couple. Let me get to these super chats. I'm going to figure out how to do this right now. Right now. John Zimmer with a generous donation. Thank you, John Zimmer. Says, let's get into self-reflection. Start with the man in the mirror. 100%. Look at yourself, y'all. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. That's the greatest advice probably one of the greatest things I ever heard from somebody is to focus on yourself. Because once you focus on you and you see your problems within, everything you got going on within, then it helps you have understanding and compassion for others. It helps you judge less. Because you realize you're just another person also trying to overcome the mess. Get to know yourself. Feel the pain. Endure. And ask God to help you. God, I need help. This is hard. How do I do this? I'm scared. I'm trembling. I can't move. I'm paralyzed. I don't know what to do. Help me. And he always helps. If you're truly seeking. So I hope that makes sense. Let me take a call real quick. And then we'll go from there. JC at a Little Rock, Arkansas. I wanted to say Arkansas is so bad, but I'm smarter now, right? I'm smarter. JC, not a first-time caller, but JC at a Little Rock, Arkansas. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Third-time caller.
Yes, sir.
I'll give it to you. Like I said in our last conversation, when you pinpoint it, you show how anointed you are. Like, I was really actually listening to your message this time, and I really appreciate what you were saying. Like, when you pinpoint everything that you specifically want to say, Joel, you hit it on the mark. You have an anointing about you that's the Lord is telling you and leading you to do some more greatness. I don't know what that could be. And this is from somebody who, yes, I've openly said I'm an enemy, but I hope you accept that from my heart. You have a beautiful anointing about you.
I appreciate that, JC. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Yes, sir. When you said we fall down and stuff, like you're falling down on stage, but you're afraid. I was thinking about, my queen, Beyonce, back in 2007 when she fell down the stairs.
Wait, you're what?
My queen, Beyonce.
Oh, okay. For sure.
Did you see that video years ago when she fell down the stairs during her performance?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I seen that. And I seen that. There's another girl, too. What's that Hispanic one? In like the, she fell down the stage, too. Like, she, like, flipped and everything. Head banged on the ground.
Oh, God. I know Pink did that. I know that happened to Pink.
It happens to a lot.
Those are my Virgo sisters. I love them. But, yeah, that's the thing. Like, we see it happen to even some of the greats and stuff. Even Michael Jackson, when somebody said man in the mirror, he had to perform with the broken ankle and stuff. Has that ever happened to you? I know you're a performer. Have you ever had a time when you were on stage and you stumbled?
Oh, that's a good question. Has there been a time on stage where I stumbled? I don't think when it came to dance, I had that type of issue. I mean, I've messed up on stage before, but not to a point to where it was like obvious, like, oh, he fell off stage or he fell on stage. But more so have been like, I can't even think of an example, but more so like, let me think, maybe being on stage and like, or doing a presentation or something like that. Those have been like in the past have been more of the things for me because I've done more presentations than I've done performances actually. Right. But yeah.
I mean, I have a degree in musical theater. A lot of the audience doesn't know that. I have a degree in musical theater, but I also, I'm openly sharing this with you for some reason with your audience, the Bond Network, but I suffer from stage fright. So it's very interesting as often as I've called like Hate Show and even the other shows and stuff, I very much suffer from stage fright these days, even though I have a degree in musical theater. It's just because I don't know. I feel like I have talent. I just don't know how to reach the world anymore, how to make a greater impact. You ever feel that way?
No, I mean, that's what today's whole show is about. And I don't know if you're like playing or not, or like if this is part of like a thing, but regardless, you're still making a good point. That's what the whole show is about. Everybody deals with that kind of stuff in some way or another. The fear of whatever that's holding them back from being fully what they're capable of being. And it comes from having that judgment of what will happen if you do fall or if you do embarrass yourself. And most of the time that judgment is coming from something that's not true in your mind, telling you that you're going to be the laughing stock forever. But also it's just your own judgment of trying to protect your ego, your feelings. You don't want to feel that pain of embarrassment, that shame, when it doesn't even exist. What really matters is that you're up there being all that you need to be and all that you could be, facing those fears so you can spread whatever God has in you to spread to the world. So overcoming that is what the whole show is about today.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the show because there are times when I've been wicked towards some of your colleagues and stuff, so I'm not as nice, but this is a sincere conversation because I wanted your advice. You're a couple of years older than me. You're still able to do certain things that I'm trying to accomplish and do, so I do appreciate it. I'm wanting to be have like my own platform, but I don't know what to do yet. I just want to make the world smile, but there's a lot of things I feel like I need to overcome too.
Well,
internally.
Hey man, right on. I appreciate you for one admitting to that, and to be honest, that's part of it. That's part of it. It's just being honest about it. So right on, man. And it seems like you're being genuine. I don't know, the other people know you more than me, but you seem like you're being genuine. And regardless, I appreciate you hopping on and saying that, and then giving the compliment, but also being honest about self when it comes to that kind of stuff. And we all deal with it. and we're all trying to overcome.
sir.
So,
Did you have any questions for me before I hang up?
no, that's it, man. That's it, JC. I appreciate it.
right.
Call in again. Let's talk again.
Shout out to Frederick from L.A. I have to give a shout out to my brother. And tell James and Nicholas and Sean I say hello.
All right. Right on, JC. Appreciate it. We'll do.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering at some point, like, where are we going with this? Is he trying to? But that was nice. Nice compliment. And maybe he means it, and maybe he's genuine. And the more we have conversations in the future, if there is, then we'll find out. But regardless, whatever. I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it, JC. Thanks for the call. And right on. Amazing. It's just hard to tell sometimes because sometimes people be calling in with an agenda and they call in and like trickery and they be nice and then they just stab you. But that's okay. I appreciate it. It seemed genuine. That did seem genuine, JC. So I appreciate it. Right on. Good call. Amazing. Let me see. Freddie, JC. Freddie, let me see. I'm trying to look at the chat here. You guys are hilarious. It says, Nicole92 says, because your ego is consumed by what the audience will think of you. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. And I've went years, I'm telling you guys, and I understand what JC's saying, and I agree. The stage fright thing is a tough thing, and the stage fright itself is an illusion as well. But that's a thing that people deal with, and I understand it because for a very long time, and I'm still overcoming. I'm still learning these things. By no means am I exempt from the message. Period. But I've been in these situations to where, like, not even knowing, avoiding facing the fear and running away from the fear because of protecting myself. And not only that, and this is the biggest deception that the enemy will whisper and we hold on to, is the excuses of why we don't face it. I made so many in my own life. Factual. I made so many of those excuses, blaming it on every other thing, just to protect this. Just to protect this ego, protect this thing that don't even really matter. You know what I mean? And I've done that for so many years, make excuses for it, and it's only got in my way, and it only stopped me from, like, growing and learning. And nobody teaches you this. And I knew it at sometimes, like, dang, was it because of that? I knew it, like, I knew deep down at the same time that I was running away from the fear. So I wasn't, like, oblivious, right? I wasn't, like, just like, oh, I just don't know what's going on. No, I knew that I was pushing away the fear. But my excuses served me more. So I kept going with them. And sometimes it takes somebody really just driving home a message and really, like, making it clear that that type of approach to your fears in life is a mistake. And sometimes that's all you need. And Jesse's message really resonated with me. It really did. The greatest fear thing. It really did. And he hit it. He hit a home run with that, grand slam with it. He explained it to the T. He got into the details. And a light just clicked on. It just made sense to me. And now we just take what we learn and we apply it to the bad habits we've created taught by the world. Isn't that crazy? Now we have to undo the ties, the wrong teachings of the world. Because you're still going to hold on to the ego. And I'm sure I'm still going to like not want to do it. But now we have this revelation of doing it, right? Let's just say we have this revelation. We can apply it to the situation to like untie those false teachings of the world. I don't know. I hope that made sense. But that's really what I wanted to get to was that. And know yourself. Focus on yourself. The rest of the world, the rest of the stuff in the world, let it go. The only reason why we're having this such grip on the rest of the world is because we think we're on a time crunch. I need to have it now. I need this job now. I need that promotion now. I need this money now. But your soul is more important. I'm grateful that a lot of the things that I was searching after haven't worked out. And, you know, I'm learning and growing in this process of just looking at myself. And I still mess up, still make the mistakes, still do all that mess. Right? But like, I'm paying attention to myself. And that's the best thing because I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm avoiding depression. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But depression, anxiety, and all that stuff is not happening today. And I don't just mean today, but in general. Depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, man, I haven't had that. Because as I'm getting to know myself, it's just helpful to, you know, learning in what causes these things, understanding it, how to overcome it, seeking the source within, letting the source lead you and guide you, making mistakes, learning from experience, but being aware of all this stuff, being aware, letting your eyes be open. And knowing yourself is probably the best thing you could ever do. Knowing yourself. And that's how you know God too. Knowing yourself. Being yourself. Keep your eyes on yourself and let that be priority. Let all the other stuff go. We still got to work. We still got to be in the world and stuff like that, right? But those things are important. So your soul is important. And then all that other stuff come as a result of you being whole inside. So anyway, I'm talking too much. I hope that makes sense. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna try to be on time today. I'm gonna end it a little bit early because the Anchor Baby show, the American Anchor Baby, is coming in next. And I want him to have time to start on time. So I'm gonna end early. Well, not early, but you know, that's how you're supposed to end. So amazing. I appreciate y'all. I hope that made sense. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for the super chats. Amazing. Thanks for the calls. We will talk again. Until next time, follow me on all platforms, Joel Friday TV and The Gifted of Dance. We've been putting more stuff out, more content out. We still got some stuff in the works. We're working it out. So be on the lookout for that. Share, subscribe, like. Okay, get the message up. Get the algorithms doing this thing. You know what I mean? Follow everybody on the whole platform. We got to do something. We making it happen. And shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson for allowing me to be a part of the network. Shout out to the whole team for helping make it all come together. It's been amazing, and I'm grateful. So I'll see you guys soon. Amazing. Have a good week. Bye.